This is a portable alkaline ionizer, also known as an Alkapod. What this does is converts any regular water into alkaline water, and thus improving a person's health. In a moment, we're going to do an experiment to show exactly what kind of health benefits this can bring you. To begin, I'll show you the basic operation of the Alkapod. To begin, take the cap off. Then, take out the filter inside. Now take regular tap water and fill it up until it's above the filter level. There. Now replace the cap and wait approximately 3 to 5 minutes. Now, I'll show you the pH difference between regular tap water and water that comes from the Alkapod. First, pour regular tap water into glass A. Then, water from the Alkapod into glass B. Now, I'll use laboratory-grade pH reagent to show the difference in pH. You can see a very visible difference. Regular tap water is a light blue color. That means that it's only slightly alkaline. However, you can see that regular tap water after being in the Alkapod turns a dark blue, showing that it's much more alkaline. Here we have a pH chart. This will allow us to more clearly see the difference between the pH of these two glasses. Glass A, as you can clearly see, is regular tap water. This is going to be between 7.0 and 7.6. However, glass B, water that comes from the Alkapod, is going to be between 8.5 and 9.5. Next, we're going to show you the oil emulsifying properties of normal tap water versus water from the Alkapod. First, I'm going to take a little bit of edible oil and add it to both glass A and glass B. Now we're going to add a little bit of normal tap water to glass A. You can see, even after stirring, it's very difficult for the oil and the water to mix together. They stay separated in a very clearly defined line. Now watch what happens when we use water from the Alkapod. You can see there's a very large difference between the two. Here the oil has become opaque because the water has been mixing in with the oil, showing that it has much higher emulsifying properties than glass A. What this next experiment will show is the effect of alcohol on the alkalinity of the body. Your body is already a natural weak pH. It's already naturally a weak alkaline. You can see here, by using the pH reagent, that this represents your normal body's condition. The blue color shows that this is an alkaline. Now, however, if we drink alcohol, see what happens. You can see it becomes a yellow color. What does this show? This shows before we were in the 9.0 to 9.5 range. However, after adding the alcohol, we've dropped to 7.0 to 7.6. That shows that the alcohol has made the person's body acidic. Now we'll see what happens when we add water from the Alkapod. As you can see very clearly, before we were somewhere in the pH area of 7.0 to 6.6. However, after adding water from the Alkapod, we've returned to a healthy 9.0 to 9.5. Next, we're going to show you the effect of smoking on the body. First, we're going to take a little bit of water from the Alkapod. Add a little bit of pH reagent. This blue color, you can see, represents the state of your normal body, slightly alkaline, corresponding to a color of about 9.0. However, let's see what happens if you smoke. As you can see very clearly, after adding smoke to the bottle, we've now dropped from a 9.0 all the way down to a 6.86 to a 7.0. Now, let's see what happens if we add more water from the alkapod. You can see very clearly, we've now returned to a state of natural pH. Next, we're going to show the effects of glucose on the body. Here we have a little bit of premixed glucose. First, we show the natural state of the body, slightly alkaline, using water from the alkapod. Using a little bit of our TH test reagent. You can see we have the blue color. Now, watch what happens if we add glucose. Now, let's see what happens if we add more water from the alkapod. You can see before, when adding the glucose, we are at a 6.6 to 7.0. However, after adding more water from the alkapod, we've returned to a healthy pH of 9.0. Next, what we're going to show you is the difference between pH between three liquids using the handy pH meter. We have three glasses here. The first is going to be A, pure tap water. The second one, glass B, is pure water. And the last, number 3, is water from the alkapod. Here we have regular tap water. This is pure water. And finally, water from the alkapod. First, let's test the pH of the glass A, the tap water. Reading of about 7.7. Next, we'll test glass B, pure water. Here we have a reading of about exactly 7.0. And finally, we'll test water from glass BC, which is from the alkapod. Here we have a pH reading of 9.1, the strongest pH in showing an alkaline pH. What we're going to be doing next is testing for the ORP levels of these three different types of water using an ORP meter. What an ORP meter does is test for the oxygen reduction potential of water, testing for free radicals. If there's a large amount of free electrons in the water, what this does is allows for this to reduce free radical damage within the body. If the number is in the negative, that means that there is more free electrons. Let's test glass A first. (191). Let's test glass B, pure water. (185). Now let's test water from the alkapod. negative 225. Next what we're going to do is we're going to show you the conductivity properties of these three different types of water using a conductivity meter. First we'll test glass A, normal tap water. Shows a reading of 160. Next we're going to test the conductivity properties of the water in glass B, which is pure water. A reading of 20. And finally, we'll test the conductivity properties of glass C, water from the alkapod. $240. What our experiments today were designed to do was to show you why drinking water from the alkapod is more healthy for your health, exactly because it's more alkaline and has a higher pH. Now the first way we did this was to show you the pH differences between three different kinds of water. The first is regular tap water. The second is water from a water bottle, or pure water. And the third is water from the alkapod. The second way we did this was to show you also that higher pH water from the alkapod has a higher oil emulsifying property. If you have a higher oil emulsifying property, what this does is allows your body to more easily dissolve oils. They're very different from normal water. We also showed you that drinking alcohol increases the acidity of your body. Now, of course, this can be bad for your body's natural ability to get rid of itself, toxins and things like that. If you drink alkaline water, that helps reduce the acidity from alcohol. The same thing is true for our glucose test. Too much glucose in the body causes a higher level of acidity. Water from the alkapod reduces that and causes it to return to a normal state of alkaline. Now what we were able to do with the cigarette smoke was show you again the exact same thing. Smoking cigarettes causes an increase in acidity in the body. Again, water from the alkapod will reduce that acidity and make it healthier for yourself. Now finally, we were able to show you using three different types of scientific instruments exactly how these three different types of water are very different. The first was a pH meter, showing you that the pH here and from water from the alkapod was the highest or most alkaline. Water from here was the most acidic. The third way we were able to do that was using the free conductivity meter. Free conductivity meter shows how well the water conducts the electricity, which of course is something your body needs. Here we can see pure water here had the lowest conductivity rating. Tap water was slightly better, but the best was from the alkapod. And finally we showed you the ORP test, or oxygen reduction potential. Oxygen reduction potential test shows how much free radicals there are in the water. That means that the lower the ORP, the healthier the water is for you and the higher antioxidant properties it has. You can see the water from the alkapod had a much, much lower ORP potential than either of these two waters did.